Trump is doing what no president before him had the guts to do, and the media hates it. You guys gotta check this video out.
The legal showdown over presidential power that is headed to the courts tomorrow morning. A federal judge is set to hold a hearing after Fed Governor Lisa Cook sued the Trump administration in federal court today. She calls the president's efforts to remove her from the position at the Fed, quote, unprecedented and illegal. President Trump says he's removing Cook over allegations that she made false statements on a mortgage application, but is that sufficient cause?
It's so weird that all these people are lying, but they were accusing Trump of lying, right? I'm sorry to pause the video so long, but it's like Democrats think their jobs are for life, right? You lie once, you're out. I'm sorry, but that's how it works in the real world. Let's keep going, guys. I'm not gonna pause it as much.
CNN's chief White House correspondent and anchor Caitlin Collins is live for us at the White House. And Caitlin, how is the White House responding to Cook's lawsuit?
Well, Jake, they've acknowledged that she is challenging her firing, that this is going to now set up this huge legal showdown starting in court tomorrow, where Lisa Cook's just trying to get that temporary restraining order where she can basically stay on the job as this is going to play out. They knew this was going to be a legal battle, Jake. Obviously, we've never seen a president do this in the Federal Reserve Board of Governors history before. And so this is going to be a familiar territory for them because they've done this with other people who have never really been fired by the executive branch before and now are in this position. And so they say they're well prepared for this legal fight, Jake. They do ultimately believe they're going to win out here. And several White House officials pointed out to me that in her lawsuit today, responding to this, that Lisa Cook did not deny the allegations that are being made against her exactly when it comes to these allegations of mortgage fraud. Obviously, that's going to play out in court, Jake. But the White House says as she is prepared to fight this battle, that so are they.
And Caitlin, there's another big controversy going on. This major shakeup at the CDC, Trump firing the CDC director, other top health officials resigning in protest. What are they saying about that and what this could mean for other federal workers and for the health of the American people?
Yeah, Jake, it's pretty remarkable actually to see this playing out because Dr. Monarez has only been the CDC director for about a month now. She was sworn in not that long ago after being confirmed by the Senate. It was just 5 months ago that President Trump picked her for this job after the first person that he had designated to be the CDC director was clearly just not going to get enough support up on Capitol Hill. And so then they picked Dr. Monarez. The president put out a statement at the time calling her an amazing public servant, an amazing mother as well. Secretary Kennedy said that he handpicked her for this job and praised her MAHA credentials. But now she has been fired, obviously, Jake, something that she was even disputing last night, saying she hadn't actually heard from the White House that she had been fired and was disputing whether or not Secretary Kennedy himself could actually do so, really arguing that that can only come from the president himself. And this is obviously a huge question at today's White House press briefing. And this is what the press secretary had to say about it.
It was President Trump who was overwhelmingly reelected on November 5th. This woman has never received a vote in her life, and the president has the authority to fire those who are not aligned with his mission.
Now, Jake, I will note, obviously she's referring to the president winning the election there, but she did get votes from Republican senators up on Capitol Hill who voted to confirm her. 51 of them voted not that long ago. And so now, one, obviously there's real questions about who's running the CDC. Yes, they've named an acting director, but it's not someone in a permanent position. There has not been a permanent CDC director since Trump took office, obviously, as they've been having this battle play out. But now, Jake, they have to go through this process of picking someone else, nominating them, and then also getting them confirmed by the Senate, even though the person that the Senate just confirmed has now been ousted from this job. And Jake, I'll say, obviously, we've seen so much of the reporting on the tension behind the scenes between Dr. Monarez and Secretary Kennedy over vaccine approval and what the CDC is saying about that. Obviously, they were just praising her not that long ago, and the White House hasn't explicitly said where they did not align on those areas behind the scenes, but it's clearly led to the resignation of several top officials and potentially more to come, Jake.
All right, Caitlin Collins.
So I get it. You know, these people, these two on the screen right now are the most hated individuals. We don't like seeing it. I'm sorry I had to bring you guys a video because it's a lot of information to unpack here, right? These people should just go resign, right? If you're not a part of Trump's crazy good plan, then leave the administration because we have a goal, MAGA, make America great again. And if you want to hate, go hate somewhere else, but don't be in a position of power to make sure everything crumbles. Because when you build a building and the foundation at the bottom is messed up, the building can crumble. So if these people want to sit there and they just want to keep picking at it, so the whole plan fails, kick them out, resign. We don't care. We don't care. Me and you, the viewers, my viewers, we don't care. Let's keep going, man. I'm sorry. This makes me emotional because these people, they just ruin everything.
At the White House. And don't miss Caitlin on her show, The Source with Caitlin Collins. Tonight, she's going to be joined by 3 of the CDC officials who resigned in protest. That's tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, only here on CNN. Joining us now, former U.S. Treasury Secretary under President Biden and former chair of the Federal Reserve, Janet Yellen. Secretary Yellen, thank you so much for being here. So returning back to the Lisa Cook affair, this is the first time that any president has tried to fire a governor of the Federal Reserve. You said in the Financial Times that this is dangerous and unlawful. What might you have done if this happened while you were chair of the Fed?
Well, as you mentioned, it's never happened in the Fed's entire more than 100-year history that a president has tried to fire a governor. The Federal Reserve Act says that can only occur for cause. And the question here is...
Not the question, the answer, right? The answer here is Trump is the person that had the backbone to do this. The swamp stayed hidden for ages. She just admitted it without even noting that she did. The swamp just hid right in front of everybody. Come on, man.
Whether or not an accusation that's been made against Lisa Cook without any charge or opportunity for her to address this allegation, whether or not this represents cause. And I'm not a legal scholar, and this will have to be litigated. But I think it's important to understand the context in which this is occurring. President Trump has expressed his disagreement with the policy stance that the Fed has taken. He believes that interest rates should be substantially lower, and he's mentioned on multiple occasions that his focus is on the high cost of servicing the government debt, and the higher interest rates are, the higher that debt service expense is. It's now close to $1 trillion a year, the second largest item in the budget. But the Federal Reserve Act clearly specifies that the Fed's mandate is to achieve price stability and maximum employment. The goals are set by Congress. The independence of the Fed just means that the Federal Reserve has the ability to decide what settings of monetary policy are appropriate. And President Trump is clearly frustrated with Powell, with the monetary policy the Fed is pursuing. And I see this as part of a larger attempt to gain control of the Fed, of monetary policy, and to put people who agree with him and will follow his views. That's the overall goal.
He's made no secret
the end
of that.
of independence of the Fed.
Yeah, I mean, he's made no secret.
He has made no secret.
Yeah, the president said the other day.
It's important for Americans to understand.
Yeah, he said, I just want to read the quote. The president said, once we have a majority, housing's going to swing and it's going to be great. People are paying too high an interest rate. We have to get the rates down a little bit. The current Fed obviously disagrees, at least as of right now. There are 7 members. There was a resignation a couple weeks ago. If he replaces Lisa Cook, he will have 4 members that are his appointees, not including Jerome Powell, who also was his appointee, although disagrees with him. You say this threatens the independence of the Fed. I wonder, do you think that there are enough guardrails built into the system to protect the Fed?
There are a lot of guardrails. The terms of Fed governors are 14 years. They're staggered. The Fed has budgetary independence. It's answerable to Congress, but the GAO is not allowed to audit the Fed's monetary policy decisions. It was designed to be able to make independent, professional, fact-based judgments, and I believe President Trump wants to change that. It's really important for Americans to understand how dangerous this is. Once upon a time, the Fed was obligated, this was during World War II, to help the Treasury Department finance the outstanding government debt, and it held interest rates low, just as President Trump wants now.
So the thing is, Trump is really caring about Americans that are paying bills, right? And the Democrats seem to be worrying about their cushion jobs. Trump is proving again results over excuses, action over talk, intelligence over ignorance. That's the real divide in America. Let me know what you guys think about this pretty quick video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and as always, let me know what you react to. We're out.